Hiring, it's probably one of the most important things any of us do on a team, right? But what if the way we've always done it is, well, kind of flawed from the very beginning? So today, we're going to dive into how just a simple tweak, a shift in the questions we ask, can totally transform your hiring process. We're talking about finding those candidates with true potential.
Oh, you've totally been there, right? A resume lands on your desk and it's perfect. I mean, it checks every single box. The right schools, the big name companies, all the right skills. And you get this little jolt of excitement. You think, yes, this is the one.
And then, fast forward 3 months, and reality just comes crashing down. You realize you hired the resume, not the person. Yeah, the skills on paper were all there, but the attitude, the way they solve problems, that collaborative spirit, just wasn't. It's so frustrating. And you know what? It's an incredibly common problem.
And that kind of mismatch, it has a real cost. We're talking lost time, wasted money, and a serious hit to team morale. So the very first step is just admitting we have to look past that polished CV to find what really matters. And here's the core insight, the big aha moment. The talent pool, it's not the problem. The problem is our process. The real challenge for all of us is to build a better filter, one that can actually separate the truly great candidates from the ones who just, well, look great on paper.
So, how do we fix this? It's actually simpler than you might think. It all comes down to the questions we're asking. We've got to shift our focus from just, ticking boxes and verifying skills to truly understanding a candidate's attitude and their mindset.
Okay, and this is the key distinction. It's simple, but it's so powerful. On one side, you've got your technical questions. These tell you what someone knows. And yeah, that's essential for sure. But on the other side, you have behavioral questions. And folks, this is where the magic happens. These questions don't tell you what they know. They show you how they think, how they work with others, how they handle a tough spot. They reveal character.
So, what exactly is a behavioral question? Well, think of it this way. It's a prompt that asks for a story. So instead of asking something like, "Are you a good collaborator?" which, let's be honest, everyone's going to say yes to, you ask, "Tell me about a time you had a disagreement with a teammate. How'd you handle it?" See the difference? The first question gets you a simple yes. The second one, that gets you evidence.
All right, so this isn't about just winging it or hoping for the best. You can actually intentionally design an interview process that's built to uncover attitude. Let's walk through a really simple framework for how to do just that.
It's a really straightforward 3-step process. Step 1, define the key traits. What's absolutely non-negotiable for this role? Is it resilience, initiative, collaboration? Get specific. Step 2, craft your behavioral questions. Build questions designed to specifically test for those traits. And finally, step 3, structure the entire interview around uncovering attitude and mindset.
And what does structuring for attitude even mean? Well, it means you're not just running down a checklist of questions. You're basically creating situations, prompting stories. And maybe the most important part of all, you shift from just passively hearing an answer to actively listening for the proof, the evidence of those traits you decided were so important.
Okay, so you've asked these awesome questions. You've got these stories. Now what? This is the next crucial step, moving away from that vague gut feeling and towards a fair, consistent way of actually evaluating what you heard.
The goal here is super simple. Get rid of as much of that subjective, "I just have a feeling about this person" stuff as you can. When you evaluate every single candidate against the same evidence-based criteria, your decision-making just gets sharper. It becomes more consistent and honestly way more effective.
Let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Take a look at the initiative row here. A weak answer is almost always hypothetical. "Oh, I would do this," or "I would probably handle it like that." But a strong answer, whether it's for collaboration or resilience or anything else, it's always rooted in a real story from their past. They give you specific details. That's the evidence you're hunting for.
And this all brings us to what might be the most important point of all. This isn't about bombarding candidates with 100 different questions. No way. It's about precision. It's about impact.
Think quality, not quantity. Seriously, one single, perfectly crafted behavioral question that really gets to the heart of a key trait, that can be worth more than a dozen of your standard run-of-the-mill interview questions combined. It can literally be the pivot point for your entire decision.
When you get right down to it, everything can hinge on that one single, well-placed question. It's the one that can reveal a hidden strength you never would have seen or expose a critical red flag. The right question? It just gives you clarity, pure and simple.
So next time you're prepping for an interview, I want you to try something. Don't just think about what you need to know from this person. Think about what you need to see. Because the question you choose to ask and the real evidence you hear in their answer, that could be the difference between hiring just another good resume and finding a truly great teammate.